So, hey, Credit Suppliers, on Dave Pratt Live, we always try to inform you of new things happening, especially things that will help Arizona grow, improve Arizona, help the economy. We have so many listeners in the construction industry on every level. We just think it's good to kind of keep up with what's happening in the industry. And Credit Suppliers, a pioneering company that's going to help with construction growth in the new year and beyond. James Nielsen is here, who's the CEO. James, how you doing?
Great. Hey, good to be here with you, Dave.
Yeah, welcome down and happy holidays to you. I appreciate you coming down to the studios.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here to talk about credit after that little MasterCard joke there.
Oh, I know, exactly. You know what, James? We have so many construction listeners, and Arizona really goes as construction goes. The housing market is such a huge deal for us, and everybody keeps talking about the economy coming back, and we want the economy coming back, and really the barometer is different for different states. I think it's probably fair to say in Michigan, the automotive industry kind of leads the way. In California, it's the entertainment industry, but in Arizona, it really is the construction industry. And Credit Suppliers, you really are pioneers. Explain exactly what your company does in layman terms so a radio schmuck like me can understand.
Absolutely. What Credit Suppliers does simply is we supply credit or financing terms for contractors so they can buy materials down to their supply shop. Generally, when they go down to the supply shop, they have to pay the supply shop 30 days. A lot of times they don't have that money, so it gets extended out 60, 90 days plus. The material supply shop pretty unhappy about that.
Yep.
They want to get paid as soon as possible. So what we do is we step into the shoes of the contractor and we tell them, guess what? We can now pay for your materials down at your supply shop. So you don't have to come up with the capital immediately.
So they can pay 60, 90 days ahead or more.
Absolutely. So what we do is we go in and we pay the supply shop, similar to a credit card. The contractor makes the purchase, we pay the supply shop. Then we put the contractor on terms so that they can take that time to pay us, so that they can wait for that job to get paid off. And when they get paid off, then we're done. Now they can move on to the next job. We now supply them with financing for each and every job that they can do so that they can do more jobs than what they have right now.
So for contractors, whether they're a small independent contractor or big, it really helps their cash flow so they can take on more projects and move forward.
Absolutely. This material financing allows them to look, and we've had contractors come to us already and say, wow, look, I can now bid on another job, 1, 2, 3 other jobs, so I can, because I don't have to pay off that material supply house immediately. I know that you'll take care of them, and then we can pay you when we get paid.
See, and I understand exactly what you're saying, that the contractors are in a tough position now because they don't have that opportunity, and sometimes they're waiting for their checks to come in so they can pay. But in the meantime, they need supplies so they can build forward.
Absolutely. We are part of what is known as the fintech revolution. Financials, technology, the internet. It's all of what's going on behind the scenes on the internet, which in business-to-business transactions is revolutionizing how payments and systems are taking place in the industry.
Yeah, here we kind of believe in the internet. So just to get that industry term down, it's fintech.
Fintech, absolutely.
So we're going to hear a lot more of that.
Oh, you'll hear a lot more of that. What we can do, where the banks cannot lend, we can lend. So there are times that we have clients that come to us and they say, we've been to the bank. They've turned us down. We say, great. Give us your name, address, phone number, 3 trade references, and we'll do a quick review. And usually about 60% of the time, we can grant credit to those guys. Folks that they cannot get credit down the bank right now.
All right, so James, let's just say I'm a contractor. I love what you're telling me. It's the future. I want to have a big 2015. I want to get hold of you, more information, have you walk me through the process. I want to give it a try. What's the next step? How do I get hold of you?
Best thing to do, first of all, is go to our website, CreditSuppliers.com. Simple as the name, CreditSuppliers.com. Or give us a call at 866-922-8322, and we'll be more than happy to walk them through our processes.
All right, so CreditSuppliers.com. That's really easy one to remember. I know phone numbers can be tough, but CreditSuppliers.com. Tell me about your company. Are you an Arizona company?
Absolutely. We're a Scottsdale-based company.
Yeah, buddy!
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
Okay.
We're what's part of the Silicon Desert, not based out of Silicon Valley.
Explain
Amazing.
what you mean by that, because some people have heard that term, but explain what you mean by that.
Like you said earlier, within the construction industry, we're based around construction. Well, we've got to start changing that and becoming more part of technology. And it's really the new technology companies here in town, guys who have ideas, who've come up with different internet-based companies, technology companies. There are a lot of us out here. We just need to get known, and we have to, the local economy needs to start using us. There's a group of us here that we are part of the internet. We are part of this technology revolution going on. And we're here in the desert because we love to be here.
See, I love that, James, because as we open our conversation, really the barometer for Arizona's growth, the economy, is the construction industry. But what you're talking about is the internet industry that can also explode for Arizona. And look what's happened here. GoDaddy, LifeLock, and now Credit Suppliers coming into play.
Absolutely. You know, an interesting economic fact was that this last year, Arizona was in last place, other than Washington, D.C., in the construction industry.
Seriously?
Last place. And now, if you see what's going on with oil prices coming down, gas prices going down, I really think you're going to see something start to change in the construction industry here next year. But there has to be a capital infusion into it. That's where we come in. We are that extra line of capital for these folks to go out and take that extra job, be able to go out and finance that next job. That's what we can do. That's what we can really do to help out the economy. And once we get these guys in the construction industry working, well, guess what? Those materials as they come in, where do those materials come from?
Right. And contractors, the big challenge is getting the word to the contractors, because why wouldn't a contractor want to do this? Of course they would. There would be no reason not to do this. It helps grow their business, but we need to get the word to them.
We just need to get the word out now. Now that we're here, we've rolled out the product really since July of this last year. We're now out here. We're out presenting this product so that people can start to use it, start to get the economy going. We're here in town. Let's get this Arizona economy going again.
I agree. CreditSuppliers.com. James, let me ask you about you personally. Where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Utah, actually, and I've lived in Texas. Then I came here for law school. I was a law clerk for Senator Kyle here.
Really?
Back in Washington, D.C., absolutely.
You know, he was a member of our show for years.
Oh, yeah.
When I first met Senator Kyle and his wife, Carol, he said, Dave, I want to do radio, but I want to have fun. Everybody wants to talk politics. What can we do? I said, what are you a fan of? He said, I love NASCAR. I said,
he is a NASCAR fan.
So
Yes, he
you know
is.
that, James,
Yep.
right? So I said, okay, you are our NASCAR reporter now. So every week for 15 years, he would call up and just talk NASCAR. And when things were controversial in Washington or things were happening, so many listeners would say, ask Senator Kyle about that. Nope. He was
that's
just
great.
But James, totally into it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He
yeah,
was.
and
Yep.
that was a lot of fun with him. So you're from Utah. What area in Utah?
I grew up in a little town called Orem, about 40 miles south of Salt Lake.
Come on. See, I grew up in Elko, Nevada.
Oh, my goodness.
Northeast corner, I-80 that goes into Salt
Yes,
Lake.
sir.
So were you Utah or BYU?
Oh, well, I grew up as a BYU fan.
Okay.
Went to BYU, actually, when...
you're a Cougar.
I am a Cougar.
All right.
Got a master's degree in accounting from there. Went to Houston to work in an accounting firm, infamous firm called Arthur Anderson now.
I think I've heard of them.
Heard of them?
Good
Yes.
NASCAR driver.
That's it. Well, actually, we'll talk open wheel after this.
And then you mentioned law school here. Was that...
I went to ASU Law School here. And interesting, after law school, I got a call from a friend who said, James, we just sold our internet company up here, a little company called Authorize.net. And they were the first credit card transaction processor for the internet. So they said, we're going to start a venture capital firm. How would you like to come up here to Utah and work with us in a venture capital firm? And I said, if it wasn't Provo, Utah, I would have already said yes.
Right.
But went up there, worked with them. This was late 90s, early 2000s. Worked with them for a bit, had some great times, learned the intricacies of the internet, what was going on, the cloud, server-based systems. It was incredible. I could see coming down the line how to improve these processes. So I started patenting these processes back in 2000. The way to take this credit so I can track it, monitor it, collateralize it, do things that other people couldn't do. So that's what I did back then, and I've looked at this, waiting for the technology to catch up to us. Now with these little black things that you hold in your hand, the iPads that people use on the job, the technology's here. Because that technology is here, now we can marry up that finance and with those who need that finance, put them together through technological means in much more efficient ways than we ever have been able to in the past.
You're a smart guy. I just want to hang out with you.
Oh, I don't know.
I was going to say, I went to college once.
You know what, James, what you're talking about, like with cell phones, okay? I don't know. Well, I do know one person that doesn't have a cell phone. That's my mom. She's 87. But other than that, I don't know anybody who doesn't have a cell phone, and that's where the world is right now.
Absolutely. You know, what's interesting, we've been invited by a few supply houses to come and start marketing our product to folks. And, you know, just about everybody over the age of 45, you know, they look at these, they carry it around, they'll talk to people on it, and they don't do much more. Everybody under the age of 45, they're out there working on it, they're doing stuff with it. It's really a generational issue that a generational thing going on where those who use it, boy, they have an efficiency above everybody else, and you better get on it quick because it's coming fast.
Even contractors, for example, for those of you that have done a project recently, if you have your contractor give you a change order, a lot of times it's on an iPad now. You just take your finger and you sign it off, and you're good.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, congratulations on your company.
Well, thank you very much.
And it's CreditSuppliers.com. You're going to have a big year.
We're looking forward to it.
And along with that, you're going to help Arizona. So congratulations, and we'll definitely be in touch. And we're going to hang out here a bit too, okay?
Sounds great. Good to be here, Dave.
All right, James, thanks for coming down. It's CreditSuppliers.com.